Chapter 11: The Mosquito's Long Journey. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qianying wandered on the busy street and flew out of the slow-moving minibus. In the city, the danger from predators is reduced by more than 90%, so after observing a small green tree on the roadside, I flew towards it. After such a long ride, he wanted to take a rest in a tree. Where should we go next? Qianying grabbed a branch with 6 long legs. The sunlight was blocked by the leaves, and the refreshing breeze made him feel very comfortable. His idea was to find the train station in Qianying County and wait for the train to Shanghai. Of course, it is also possible that there is no direct train from this county to Shanghai, or there may even be no train line passing through here at all. If so, it would be a bit troublesome. At that time, he will investigate which nearby city has a train station, and then look for a ride until he gets on the train. That would take a long detour and be a waste of time. After all, Qianying didn't know whether his series of measures were on point. If he has done so much training and only eats one type of food that seems to be more nutritious during the larval stage, his lifespan has not changed and is still similar to that of ordinary MaleProtagonist mosquitoes. Then when the lifespan reaches the end, it will be the nearest something happened. He has no time to waste. Qianying regretted that he did not know anything about geography and tourism. If he had studied and understood it before, he would not know anything about this northeastern city now. Of course, there is no regret after everything is done, and hindsight is the worst idea. After a short rest, Qianying shook his wings and found that he had rested enough. So he spread his wings and flapped his wings, letting his huge body of Anopheles sinensis fly slowly against the scorching summer sun, trying to get as close to the shade of the street as possible. Mosquitoes all like shade, but Qianying really has no choice but to be a grilled mosquito in the sun. That's the bus stop sign over there. A group of passengers were waiting under the bus stop sign, some women holding parasols. You can see here the difference between urban women and those rural women just now. Not only their temperament, but also their clothing has obviously improved to a higher level. A mosquito was buzzing in flight, but no one noticed the sound of its flight in the noisy street. Then, the mosquito hovered for a long time at a height parallel to the bus stop sign, as if it could understand the words on the bus stop sign. Well, the terminus of bus number 7 is called Qianying West Station. Is this West Station a train station? Qianying didn't care so much. He just got in the car and took a look first. After waiting for almost 15 minutes, bus number 7 finally arrived. Qianying blended in above the crowd and flew into the bus with a buzz. Compared with the old minibus he used to ride in, he is now more familiar with it and has mastered human psychology. Even if someone sees him, he flies so high that when he gets into the car, he gets into the space under the seat and gets into a certain place. There are some gaps. When it is so crowded, no one will consider asking him to fight, right? The journey was like a replica of a minibus, except that the shaking was reduced a bit. Qianying hid in the gap between the seats and waited for nearly 20 minutes before he heard the electronic announcement, "Changtusi is here." He waited a little longer, and when he heard the sound of the crowd getting off the bus disappeared, he got out of the seat. It's indeed a train station. The area around this train station has not yet been developed. There are not many buildings around it, and there are many fields as far as the eye can see. It looks a bit desolate, but it is indeed a train station. Qianying flapped his wings and flew towards the ticket hall. Perhaps because he had been in the human world, he forgot to be vigilant. At this time, behind his body, a small sparrow flew over very briskly. When Qianying was startled to notice something approaching, the sparrow's small mouth was already close to Qianying's tail. "Open your mouth and bite down." Not good. Qianying was shocked in his heart, but his body reacted instinctively at this moment. The wings were flapped with all their strength and they jumped sideways. Click. He could hear the sound of the sparrow's beak biting, but fortunately, there was no pain from the bite in his body. Escape. Qianying was so scared that he couldn't help himself. He unleashed 150% of the explosive power of this powerful body and rushed towards the ticket hall of the train station not far away. Perhaps out of consideration for the humans on the ground, this little sparrow chased Qianying for a few meters, then turned around, crossed the train ticket hall, and flew far into the sky. It was so dangerous, I almost got eaten. Qianying flew into the ticket hall, his head dizzy from the frightening scene. Strong facts told him that although he was a mosquito with human intelligence, and after training, he was much stronger than the average male Anopheles mosquito, but this did not mean that he was a predator. In this nature, he's still a weakling, a weak being that is eaten by many natural enemies and predators. Fortunately, the danger has passed and the ticket hall has arrived. It's quite lively. Qianying looked at the scenery in the hall. Compared with the desolation outside, it was much more lively here. At least 100 people were stranded in the ticket hall, asking for tickets and waiting for buses. The police are roaming around, which means the security here is pretty good. Shanghai, Shanghai. Qianying flew to the site information poster in the ticket hall and slowly browsed the information. Sure enough. From Changchun to Shanghai Hongqiao, enter Chengdu West Station around 11:20 noon and arrive in Shanghai around 22:10 p.m. It only takes about 10 hours and 50 minutes to travel 1,194 kilometers. This express train is really fast. The ticket price is 1,651 for a special class seat. The cheapest third class seat costs 874. Sure enough, it's expensive. The price of a special class seat is enough for almost 2 months of living expenses in college. But for me now, what is the ticket? Can I eat it? Qianying didn't have to buy a ticket at all, and he felt very proud that he could save more than 1,600 in fares. The time was just right, and it would be time for the bus to arrive in more than 2 hours. Qianying looked at the time on the display screen and flapped his wings. He quietly clung to the wall high in the hall, waiting for the train to arrive. The blood absorbed last night would probably last for a while, but when the train arrived in Shanghai, he couldn't guarantee whether the blood absorbed last night would be enough for him to consume. After all, he was flying around like this, and his size and movements consumed much more than the average Anopheles sinensis mosquito. The blood probably wouldn't last long. It's time to look for food again. Of course, the best choice is blood. After waiting like this for several hours, the hall was also crowded with people coming and going. The G1235 express train from Changchun to Shanghai Hongqiao is about to enter the station. Passengers, please be ready to get on the train. The announcement from the station made Qianying, who was motionless against the wall and in a semi-sleep state, suddenly come back to his senses. Then, this huge Anopheles sinensis mosquito flew quietly towards the ticket gate on the second floor at a height that was difficult for people to notice. Don't worry, take out all the tickets and line up in order to check in. There is a female ticket inspector in uniform at the ticket gate. The ticket inspector keeps talking to keep the chaotic and crowded passengers in good order. But Qianying, who was at a height above the two of them, ignored the ticket inspector and buzzed over her head. Then, he sticks to the door frame of the entrance door and does not fly into the platform. You know, the wind caused by the train entering the station is very strong. Sometimes people can't stand very steadily. It's possible for a little mosquito like him to fly on the platform and be blown 100 meters away. Qianying was very glad that he thought of this, so he lay down on a high place and waited for the train to enter the station. Sure enough, not long after, a loud train whistle sounded. The roar came from far to near, and a fierce wind swept the vegetation around the track and swayed randomly. Quang-ku quang-ku quang-ku, the express train drove into the station from the track with the unique noise of a train, and then stopped its dragon-like body steadily. Qianying stuck to the ticket gate and looked at the outside world through the glass. Sure enough, he saw that several passengers were almost unsteady on their feet, and he couldn't help but admire his delicate thinking. Okay, it's time to get on the train. When the strong wind subsided, Qianying quickly spread his wings and flew towards the train car. You should know that the express train stops at this station for only a short 2 minutes. He didn't want to miss this train because he was slow. He had to wait until tomorrow to find the next one from Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Fortunately, the strong wind outside has stopped, and no accidents occurred during the flight. This dark Anopheles sinensis mosquito quickly flew into the nearest passenger compartment. Shanghai, I'm coming back. that the moment he flew into the carriage, Qianying couldn't help but feel a little excited. 1 month later, the nerdy college student who loves zoology is finally going to board the express train as an insect and return to the international metropolis where he died. I'm coming back. I will end all hatred myself. The moment Qianying, a male Anopheles sinensis mosquito, flew into the carriage of the express train, his mood was ups and downs and he could not control himself. To be continued, please collect and recommend. Wow, you're so good, you're so good, you're so awesome. I'll reward you with 790 starting coins in one go, and you've reached the apprentice level. How can the brothers behind you chase after this? Haha. Also, the fan Q group mentioned yesterday was established by this little shot. But Buyue actually dialed the wrong number. 5555, in order to prevent everyone from misunderstanding that Buyue has the evil intention of monopolizing the little shot, it also expresses that Buyue is a kind-hearted, honest and good citizen who does not blow the little shot's anus, well, who said that I have a guilty conscience. Stand up. Buyue. I promise I won't beat you to death. Ha 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 ha. Therefore, I would like to publish the Q group number again, 4661222798. All Mosquito fans, you can join in and tease the young lady. Chapter 12 Negotiation on the Train. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the words are bold, if you really want to implement it. Qianying still has no clue. It is really difficult for a mosquito to take revenge on a human being, and it is a male mosquito. Thinking of the international metropolis that can be reached in 10 hours, he thought that his biggest target after rebirth, and his biggest wish before his short lifespan ran out, was about to get closer and closer to him. Qianying didn't have a feasible plan in his mind, which made him a little anxious. There seem to be many difficulties in contracting the virus, but as long as there is a useful method, I will definitely try it, even if I die together with you Yuan in the end. Qianying strengthened his belief. When he flew into the passenger compartment, almost all the passengers had already boarded. This carriage is full of seats. A new group of passengers entered the carriage. They were looking for seats and stuffing their luggage. Every compartment was very noisy for a while. At this time, the train had begun to move slowly. Express trains are all about racing against time. Qianying first controlled his body and firmly grasped the wall in an inconspicuous corner. When the inertia of acceleration passed, the train gradually became quiet. He flew up from an inconspicuous corner. Mom, there are mosquitoes. Unexpectedly, a 7 or 8-year-old girl discovered Qianying's existence with a pair of big watery eyes, and she immediately screamed, Qianying was frightened by the little girl's voice and almost fell to the ground. I said, little girl, you saw it when you saw it. What else do you call me? If I am killed by you, I will definitely be a ghost and cause trouble for you. Qianying quickly flew high and landed directly on the luggage rack. He was blocked by piles of luggage and no one could see his figure. Of course, in such a space, no one would care about mosquitoes. If they fly in front of you, you might reach out and pat them. But in the eyes of all passengers, you have to climb up to the luggage rack and swat a mosquito. Putting aside whether he can be beaten or not, he will definitely be regarded as a freak. So Qianying was very lucky and was not further pursued. So, this compartment is definitely not suitable. Too many passengers means it is unsafe to be crowded and the air is not good. Qianying is a mosquito, and mosquitoes can feel carbon dioxide and various odors. Now he can notice that this carriage is filled with all kinds of smells, poisonous and not poisonous. It almost makes him suffocate. Go to the sleeper. That the noise of the crowd below gradually decreased. Some were watching the scenery, some were playing with their mobile phones, and some even dozed off at noon. Qianying controlled his wings to fly out quickly at a height close to the ceiling of the carriage. It is basically impossible for humans to reach this height. Even if there is a master comparable to Yao Ming's brother, it is unlikely that he will jump out and kill a mosquito in front of everyone, right? Therefore, it is actually relatively safe to pass through a carriage full of people. During this period, someone did see Qianying flying by quickly, but the most they could do was glance at it. There were too many insects flying around all day long. Even if you can't beat the mosquitoes in your own sleeping room, who would care about such a guy flying by quickly? Qianying just flew across several carriages. Soft sleeper. Finally, he found the place he was looking for. There are 4 beds in a soft sleeper room, with fewer people and relatively clean air. Qianying looked at each room of the soft sleeper. If the environment was better, he would sneak in quietly when someone opened the door. At the same time, in a train soft sleeper compartment not far from Qianying, 2 men sitting opposite each other. Except for the 2 of them, there was no one else in this soft sleeper compartment. These 2 people also carry some luggage with them like ordinary travelers, but if you are careful, you will find that the daily necessities in their luggage are too few and the weight is too light. It is simply used to deceive others. Manchurian wild tiger, bring me what you promised me today. That the person who spoke was a relatively thin man. This man was thin, with sunken eye sockets and high cheekbones exposed. Together with his cold eyes, it made people shudder. The well-known addict in the industry asked me to bring something with me. How dare I not bring it with me? But you should know how valuable these antimicrobial peptides are, right? That the man named Northeastern Wild Tiger is a typical thick man from the north, over 1.9 meters tall, with bulging muscles, and the bulging biceps are as thick as the skinny man's arms. But from the words, it seems that the wild tiger is very afraid of the thin addict, and even said that he would not dare not bring something if the other party asked him to bring it. Of course I know how valuable antimicrobial peptides are, and the antimicrobial peptides you have are of unusual types, right? I have heard friends mention these. I want to ask now, what are your conditions for wanting these antimicrobial peptides? Come on. There was a hint of desire on the addict's thin cheeks. Wait a minute, let me check if it's safe outside first. The Siberian wild tiger stood up pretending to be nervous, but there was a sneer on the corner of his mouth. He smiled deliberately to show the addicts. Yehu stood up and opened the door to the sleeper room. He pretended to look outside slowly to see if there were any unsafe people or factors. But in reality, he knew full well that the sleeper room was safe. As early as a few days ago, some of his men started taking long-distance rides in this sleeper, and even checked for bugs and other factors, and now, their sleeping berth was completely surrounded by several of his men. What Yehu has to do is to deliberately dry out the addicts and let the addicts understand that I am not begging you now, but that you need my medicine and you are begging me. Hey, this sleeping room is great. There are only 2 people in it, and neither of them smokes. What the Northeastern Wild Tiger didn't know was that when he opened the door of his sleeper without a second thought, a male Anopheles sinensis flapping its wings happily and buzzing took the opportunity to fly into the door. Okay Yehu. Don't play this trick with me and tell me your conditions. At this time, the addict's slightly suppressed and angry voice came from the sleeper. Yehu finally smiled unabashedly. The addict's reputation is too big. If he doesn't hammer it out first, the next transaction will be much more difficult. He closed the door, walked back to his lower bunk and sat down. Opposite is the junkie. Addict, I actually understand your current situation. You were tripped up some time ago and given a poisonous injection. Now without my antimicrobial peptide, you are hopeless, right? The Siberian wild tiger said calmly. How do you know? The addict frowned. The 2 people having this cold conversation had no idea that while they were talking, a mosquito that had just landed in the gap between the upper bunks was suddenly startled. What are these 2 people talking about? Did I run into something terrible? Qianying quickly shrank his body more carefully. In fact, this is inevitable by accident. It is impossible for humans to guard against mosquitoes. Qianying cannot see some dark sides today, but one day he will see similar things. Of course I have my sources of information. Northeastern Wild Tiger waved his hand. I am telling you just to let you know that I am sincerely honest with you. You, an addict, are the leading killers in the country. And you should have heard of me, the Siberian Wild Tiger. What I want is not some one-off or 2-part cooperation. Do you understand what I mean? The Northeast Wild Tiger. In recent years, relying on the pharmaceutical industry, a new star has suddenly shined. Some friends from the outside even speculated whether you have obtained any special medical knowledge, otherwise how could you suddenly tinker with it? There are still many problems that cannot be overcome in the two medicines. The new drug. The addict's thin face looked sharp and angular under the dim light source, and he spoke coldly. However, you have used the drugs in your hands to rapidly expand your power recently. In just a short time, your hands have been stretched out from the northeast and are about to reach out to the capital. Do you mean to be my master for a long time? The addict suddenly he laughed, but this smile was full of blood. I just want to ask, you Siberian wild tiger, do you think you are worthy? Ha ha ha. Yehu laughed loudly. I, the northeastern Yehu, have no virtues, of course I am not worthy. Senior addict, let me tell you this, I don't want to be anyone's master. For more than a year, that is to say, I am just messing around, and I have reached the point where I am now. Now, I am a silly boy, and I want to cooperate with you for a long time. Don't take other business, if you want it, I, the Siberian wild tiger, will never frown, do you understand what I mean? While saying this, the Siberian wild tiger felt no pity at all. He took out a bottle of common-looking potion from his luggage bag. He smiled, stood up and put the potion under where the addict was sitting. Lay it. One is a killer. The other one seems to be a big shot who started out as a medicine maker. Couldn't he be making a movie? Qianying, who was hiding in a hidden place, had a suspicious question in his heart. To be continued. Today's 2 updates are complete. It's still time to give thanks. The little tycoon, Dad Adermau, once again tipped the screen and 5555 was truly moved. Everyone can join a group to tease him, and the 2 young ladies of Be Better Than Wild the Meng Meng Emperor children's boots were also rewarded with 100 starting coins, thank you very much. Chapter 13 The Huge Temptation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This scene is too unusual. As an ordinary college student before his rebirth, how could Qianying accept this scene all of a sudden? In his opinion, making movies is the best explanation, but where is the camera? Didn't see it at all. Could it be that what is happening in front of me is all real? This is this. The drug addict sitting on the lower bunk looked warily at the potion bottle thrown by the Siberian wild tiger. Senior addict, this is what you want. Don't worry, I can guarantee with my life that it is not adulterated with anything. The Siberian wild tiger smiled broadly. What do you mean? When the addict heard this, his thin face showed no trace of joy, but instead became more wary. It's not interesting. That is to say, even if our talk breaks down today, it doesn't matter. This bottle of antimicrobial peptides will be given to you as a gift from my senior. The Siberian wild tiger said in a charming way. You. The addict wanted to say something, but he stared at the medicine bottle beside the bed and swallowed twice. After all, he didn't say harsh words or ridicule, but gently picked up the bottle and faced the sun. Qianying quietly appeared and was also looking at their so-called antimicrobial peptides. The potion bottle of this potion is transparent, and the liquid inside is purple-red, under the sunlight. The purple-red color reflects on the floor, forming a slightly purple reflection. It looks both magical and mysterious. The bottle has the trademark and packaging of a certain health product printed on it, but everyone knows at this time that the packaging is just a disguise, and the content inside is definitely not the same type of health product. The Siberian wild tiger, can I trust you? After watching for a long time, the addict slowly grabbed the bottle of potion in his hand, then lowered his eyes and stared at the Siberian wild tiger sitting opposite with his faint eyes. Senior addict, I can only say that I have admired you for a long time. Whether it was your legendary battle against the 4 top assassins in the United States alone, or your risking your life to assassinate the African pirate leader, I am familiar with your deeds. Now that you have fallen into this situation, Yehu and I are very sad. I just want to help you as a junior. Senior, believe it or not, it all depends on you. That what the Siberian wild tiger said seems to be true and there is no flaw in it. The addict was not moved by the words. He just stared calmly into the eyes of the Siberian wild tiger. People like this who are walking in danger and killing always have their own way of looking at people. There was a sudden silence in the soft sleeper compartment. After watching it for a long time, the addict smiled sarcastically. You kid, this trick of using retreat to make progress is too immature. But, so what if this bottle of potion is fake? Anyway, I am a dying person, so I just believe you once. After saying that, the addict opened the cap of the potion bottle directly. Wow, what does this smell like? It smells so good. It attracts me more than the smell of blood. What on earth is this antimicrobial peptide? Qianying, who was hiding in the cracks of the bed, immediately became excited. Under this smell, he almost couldn't help but fly forward and take a sip of the potion. But the addict didn't give him that chance. Hearing just 2 sounds of gurgling, he suddenly raised his head and swallowed most of the entire bottle of potion into his stomach. Huh. Seeing that there was only the last trace of the potion left, the addict's expression suddenly changed. Are you cheating on me? He hugged his chest with a slightly painful expression, waved his arms wildly, and swept all the food on the table to the floor. The small bowl and the butterfly fell to the ground. At the same time, he threw the potion bottle with the last trace of potion left on the floor, and rolled the bottle with the food and garbage together. How is that possible? Senior, this is definitely not a fake medicine. The Siberian wild tiger's expression changed drastically at this time. His expression didn't look fake at all. He quickly stood up from the bed and walked to the addict with concern. Unexpectedly, when he approached the thin man, the addict smiled slightly. The Siberian wild tiger was stunned. The drug addict in front of him seemed to be a fine person and returned to his previous expression. There is no sign of poisoning at all. I believe you. Like a magic trick, the addict took out a water bag from his collar. The lavender liquid in the water bag was exactly the potion he was supposed to drink into his stomach just now. Senior, you are indeed a senior. Yehu admires you. Northeastern Yehu was stunned for a moment, and then quickly realized that this addict was just putting on a show in front of him. If there was really something wrong with that bottle of potion, whether it was a chronic poison, a potent poison, or a virus, at that moment he would at least have doubts on his expression. It may be difficult for other people to see any doubts in an instant, but for a person like an addict, everything can be understood in that instant. In fact, his immediate reaction was genuine shock and concern. This is what makes addicts believe it. This addict is so powerful. I almost kept staring at him without seeing what was going on. Qianying was in the gap, his pair of compound eyes showing confusion. When the addict drank the potion before, he tilted it deliberately. The angle gave the Siberian wild tiger the illusion that he was drinking the potion. However, Qianying's gaze was right in front of him, but it was only when the addict took out the water bag that he realized that he had faked drinking. Boy, please tell me all the conditions you can give me. I happen to be old and I am looking for a place to have fun for a few years. Let's see if you can impress me. The addict played with the water bag, which was inside. He didn't drink the potion in a hurry. Okay, senior. The Siberian wild tiger agreed quickly. The expression on his face was already full of smiles. At the same time, he looked at the pile of garbage on the ground and the potion bottle with only a trace of potion left, and said, wait a moment, I will have someone clean up this garbage first. As a big boss, he naturally does not need to sort out the garbage himself. Take care of the trash. Qianying, who was between the beds, was suddenly startled. The world in his eyes can see many things, including carbon dioxide exhaled by humans, as well as various smells, and heat-sensing capabilities similar to infrared rays. This makes the world in Qianying's eyes completely different from that of humans, but after so long, he got used to it. The reason why he was confused now was because most of the potion that he opened the bottle cap was in the water bag in the hand of the addict. But there is still one thing, which is in the pile of junk health potion bottles. This potion also exudes a fatal attraction that Qianying can see. Perhaps for humans, this potion is not even enough to fill the gaps between teeth. But for a mosquito, it can definitely make its belly round. What exactly is this potion? Why do I feel so attracted to myself from the moment I opened the bottle cap to now? Or, can I drink some too? While Qianying was struggling, the Siberian wild tiger had already called his men next door. The man stumbled into the door, picked up the broom and dustpan borrowed from the conductor, and first bowed to the Siberian wild tiger. Then he bowed to the addict again. Humans can drink it, which means it is not too toxic. And I feel that this potion is very attractive. There must be something special about it. Qianying was at war between heaven and man in his heart. This potion is definitely not ordinary. Just look at the current scene. There is a person who looks like a killer and another guy who seems to be somewhat powerful. The two people met and traded on the train specifically for this bottle of potion. It means that this kind of potion is definitely something not to be underestimated. Antimicrobial peptides, what exactly are they? And what is the effect of this potion, which is not an ordinary antibacterial peptide in the mouth of drug addicts? There is even a possibility that this potion is what addicts say is a new drug that still has many problems that cannot be overcome in medicine. It attracts me too much, and I always feel that sucking it has a huge impact on me. This attraction is even greater than that of blood. Qianying always feels that this is a huge opportunity. This opportunity may even change his future. Fight. No big deal, just spit it out if it feels wrong. Qianying saw the men sweeping everything into the dustpan, bowed to the two of them, and was about to walk out of the soft sleeper compartment. There was a ruthless look in his heart. He decided to just believe in an instinctive attraction, fight once. The male mosquito spread its wings and followed the subordinate out of the sleeper room without disturbing everyone. Click, a slight slamming of the door was heard. The subordinate seemed to have sweat on his forehead, and said to himself, addicts are really extraordinary. Look for Yuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. These two glances almost scared me to the point of peeing. Hello. Just as the man was walking towards the passenger car's trash can with the dustpan in hand, the door of another soft sleeper compartment opened on the side. This is a man wearing glasses, who looks like he is studying. When you throw that bottle away later, remember to tighten the lid, otherwise it will attract insects and cause unnecessary trouble. He pointed to the potion bottle that still had residual liquid. You know, bugs that eat this potion may become bigger, right? I heard that they have been found several times in the factory. I will cover them tightly before throwing them away. His subordinate nodded casually in response. To be continued. It's time to give thanks again. It's better to behave than to be wild. Little Shota continues to tip the screen and use pocket money like this. Does your mother know? Brother is worried about whether you're little but will be beaten up, haha. Congratulations on staying number 1. The book 4 Years a Dream is awesome, and you will be rewarded with 588 starting points in one go. With such a big deal, could it be that you met a real rich man? Wow, hello to Heo, let's be friends. Of course, there is also LM Flowers Bloom and Rainfall Friends. Thank you for your reward. I hope you like this book, and I hope you can often comment in the future. You can chat and spank, you can say anything, haha. Also, please give me your recommendation votes. Our book has been hovering at 28th on the public author list. The previous few books have no comments or rewards, but they have been weighing on us. This is so depressing. Please help us and vote for them. Let's climb on top of them. Chapter 14 Super Powerful Medicine. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'm not kidding you. Those few found in the factory were still eating semi-finished products before the medicine was made. If they were allowed to eat the finished medicine, they might become bigger. If there is a lot of residual medicine left in the bottle, I'm sure you have to take it back and deal with it. The man wearing glasses said seriously. Okay, the potion in it has been drank up by the addict. Are you nagging like a man? The man waved his hand impatiently, and then walked towards the trash can. Neither of them knew that the potion in the bottle had not been drunk at all. There was at least enough left for a mosquito to eat to its full capacity. Qianying, who was hovering above the two of them, suddenly felt a roar in his heart when he heard these words of conversation. Getting bigger? Is it a mutation? Sure enough, this potion has special effects on insects, that you can hear it from the dialogue. this potion also attracts insects in their factory. Moreover, they also found that some of the insects that had taken the potion had increased mutations. Although Qianying doesn't know how big they mean by getting bigger, but these 2 lines of dialogue only crazily increased Qianying's desire to swallow these potions. He must try it. If other insects can drink, I can too. Anyway, for me, this world cannot get worse. But if this potion is really effective on the mosquito body and really makes him bigger and stronger, it will definitely be of great benefit to him. At least the confidence in dealing with Yuan is a bit greater. The man continued to walk towards the trash can with the dustpan and broom. When he saw the door behind him was closed, he smiled sarcastically. Isn't he just a graduate from a third-rate university? If the boss of Yehu hadn't been able to recruit more suitable people, would you still want to join us at your level? If you get bigger, will you be bigger than us humans? Study everyday biology has made brain research stupid. This subordinate was very disdainful, thinking that it was a shame to have such a nerd among people like him. He was carrying a dustpan and a broom. To get to the trash can, you must pass through the toilet at the end of this carriage. Go to the toilet first. The subordinate felt a strong urge to urinate after being scared out by the addict senior, so he placed the broom and dustpan next to the toilet and got into the toilet. Chance. Qianying, who had been hovering above this man's head, felt something in his heart at this moment, and quickly controlled the mosquito body and fell from the air. The dustpan lay quietly next to the wall. Inside, the bottle of potion that had not yet been closed was still exuding a strong potency to attract mosquitoes. Qianying flapped his wings and landed on the mouth of the potion bottle, which was the size of a human palm. The smell is stronger if you get close to it. It will definitely attract mosquitoes than blood. Qianying looked inside the bottle. There was a thin layer of purple-red potion spread at the bottom of the bottle. The purple-red potion emits a luster, which is mysterious, like delicious food, and like Pandora's box. Eating it will open the devil's door. Qianying looked at the potion lying at the bottom of the bottle and hesitated for a moment, but in the next moment, he plunged his body into the medicine bottle without hesitation. What about Pandora's box? My life has become like this. Even if I open Pandora's box, will I lose anything? The mosquito's mouthparts reach the purple-red potion, insert it directly and suck hard. There is not much time, and the men will come out when they go to the toilet, so Qianying doesn't care about the taste at all. Is it sour or sweet, bitter or spicy? Anyway, before he tasted it carefully, the potion at the bottom of the bottle had been sucked cleanly by his powerful mouthparts. In an instant, his belly swelled up, almost bursting his body. It hurts. Is it because of the food or the potion? Qianying staggered at his feet. Not good. This is the power of medicine. Why is it so fierce? Qianying quickly controlled his body and retreated from the mouth of the bottle. He found that his vision began to become blurry. No. You have to find a hidden place first. Qianying flapped his wings and found that the wings, which were usually very light, became extremely heavy. His body flew up a few centimeters and then suddenly fell down. Qianying used all his strength to barely keep flying and flew forward. No, I can't fly anymore. Qianying's body was floating in the air, and his blurred vision saw the huge trash can placed on the train. He flew directly over. Heading towards the gap between the trash can and the wall, he suddenly got in. At the same time, his entire body fell down and he no longer had the power to fly. Fortunately, he was already in the gap between the trash can and the wall. Qianying's mosquito body was constantly trembling. It hurts. But it feels so comfortable at the same time. It's very similar to the feeling of a larva pupating. Do you want to spit out the potion? I can feel that this is the effect of the potion. No. Since it's very similar to the time of pupation, maybe it's really a good thing. Could it be that the potion that can mutate insects is really good for me? I will never vomit. I must not spit it out. I must persist. Persist, insist, persist. It hurts so much. But, keep on holding on. I'll hold on even to the death, that the Mtlnovel's mosquito keeps rolling in the cracks of the trash can. At the same time, in the soft sleeper carriage, in an inconspicuous room, a young scholar with glasses sat at the table. His eyes were solemn as he looked at several papers on the table filled with symbols and data. "Boss, I am really grateful for your kindness. But..." The young man pursed his lips and looked hesitant. "But where did you get these potions?" "Among other things, the antimicrobial peptide just now doesn't look like an antimicrobial peptide at all. General antimicrobial peptides are alkaline polypeptide substances with antibacterial activity that are induced in insects. They have miraculous effects on fungi, protozoa, viruses, and even cancer cells. There are also many research institutions in the world that are conducting research on antibacterial peptides, but is this called antimicrobial peptide? What are you doing? You don't choose to put these drugs that are beyond modern medicine on the market, but you are using them to expand your own power. What do you want to do?" A look of fear appeared under the young man's thick lenses. After thinking for a long time, the young man shook his head and put down the paper. "Anyway, no matter what the boss wants to do, his kindness to the boss is not fake. Since the boss is the only one in the world who recognizes himself and is willing to cultivate himself, why bother so much? Whatever the boss wants to do, I just quietly help from behind. A 1,000-mile horse often exists, but a bull does not always exist." After thinking everything through, the young man smiled slightly. Then, he crumpled these pieces of paper into a ball quickly, and then soaked them all in with the mineral water bottle he brought with him. "Wait a few more minutes until the handwriting is blurred before taking it away and throwing it away. Ah! It really hurts. I can feel that the entire exoskeleton is swelling. This is so uncomfortable, 100 times more uncomfortable than pupation and molting. Qianying, you can definitely do it. If you get through it, a miracle will happen. We must get through it. Something good will happen. Ah! Qianying. You are a man. You can definitely do it." That a Mtlnovel sinensis mosquito rolled and trembled desperately in the gap between the train garbage bins. Foam came out of his mouth, but the mosquito didn't notice it at all. The 6 long legs sometimes point upward, kicking constantly. If you don't know, you will definitely think that this mosquito is about to die. Otherwise, such an exaggerated action would not be possible. Only the person involved knows that he is not dead and cannot die. Qianying firmly believes that he can survive and must survive. Even in such a mosquito-like life, he still has unfinished business. If you die now, you will definitely die with your eyes open. Qianying. I will definitely not die easily. I will live. I will live. I will live like a cockroach. That the male mosquitoes are still rolling in the cracks. He didn't even faint, looking for Yuan. www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Just keep holding on and feel the pain in every cell in your body. What the young man with glasses didn't say before was that at the so-called factory, although a few insects were found that had eaten the semi-finished potion and underwent enlarged mutation, but more deaths. Everyone that died near the factory. After consuming those semi-finished potions, the scale was so horrific that the carcasses of dead insects were everywhere near the factory, and now Qianying is also experiencing all this. Whether he lives or dies is up to him. To be continued. It's still time to give thanks. Ahem, since noon, a few more book friends have rewarded me. Thank you. First of all, brother Tiger who eats pigs. Such a good brother. I won't say any words of thanks. I will put you first. You will understand. Ha. Next, there's the little Shota of Didi de Ermau, who is also a veteran fan of our book. Everyone can join the group to tease him. Aha, he's such a good kid. Carrot Omega Carrot. Next up is another familiar face, an active book friend in the group. His nickname is One Season / Another Silence. Yes, he is the guy who hangs on the pages of the book and butchers the version. I was chatting with him in the group just now, and it almost made me unable to type out this chapter at 8 o'clock. You can feel free to K him, Please give me your recommendation votes tomorrow. I hope that those who have recommendation votes will vote for this book tomorrow. The ranking on the author list is really low. Seeing that the books above that have no reviews and no rewards are ranked so much higher than ours, Buyu is really not reconciled. Chapter 16 Return to Shanghai. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buyu wrote the real place names and city names in China in the article, which is the real reason why the book was not signed. So, the following will be replaced by self-created city names, but foreign ones will not, so everyone will use domestic place names. If you can guess it, guess it. If you can't guess it, just think it's a city in a parallel world. This story is actually better explained in terms of parallel worlds. The city name will also be revised in the previous chapters over time, and these 2 lines of announcements will also be revised. I am extremely sorry. The text begins below. This is a night with a bright moon and few stars. The huge round moon is bright and bright, hanging high in the sky, the misty moonlight shines on the earth. If this were still in ancient times, there would be many people relying on the moon's light source to work or do things. However, this is not ancient times, rather, it is a modern era of feasting and revelry. The city's neon lights, tall long-range lights, and countless street lights and billboards, these colorful colors, completely covered the moonlight, making the full moon in the sky dim. Amidst the colorful lights, an express train pierced through the night in the western part of the city and slid into the platform track. This is the terminus of express trains and the destination for many travelers. This destination has become an international metropolis. Countless people come to this city with longing and hope, either to work hard or to travel. No matter what, this city always embodies the dreams and hopes of countless people. Passengers began to get off the bus, and there was a bustle. Finally we've arrived at the Shanghai Stock Exchange. And among the crowd, a huge enlarged version of Anopheles sinensis was flying above people's heads and flying straight out of the train. Qianying raised his eyes and looked around. This city, this place, holds so many memories and past for him. This is where he spent 2 years of college. Shanghai, I'm finally back. Qianying had both fascination and emotion in his mind. He died in this city a month ago. A month later, he was reborn as a mosquito. After going through all kinds of hardships, he came back here again for revenge. Qianying's body slowly flew high in the night sky. The scenery in front of me is also getting smaller quickly. He flew to an altitude of 30 meters. Here, the view of the station below becomes very small. Pedestrians are like ants, busy moving around. Mosquitoes at night are always more capable than during the day. Qianying looked at the scenery at the exit and then descended again. When he flies high, he is not only looking forward to this city with infinite emotions. The more reason is to observe the overall view of this station. Although I have studied and lived in this huge international city for 2 years, I have never been to this station before. Although Qianying's current mosquito body was enlarged and strengthened by the purple potion, he did not become arrogant because of it. Qianying knew that he had indeed changed now. He was like a Superman among mosquitoes. Perhaps small predators such as dragonflies would no longer pose a threat to him. However, there are still countless birds, bats and other animals that can kill him. Therefore, he did not dare to fly so high arrogantly, but immediately stayed close to the ground cautiously. There are many humans at the station, and no predator dares to catch him here. Master, are you going to Linjiang Road? 2 female passengers with luggage, dragging heavy suitcases in their hands, walked out of the station and asked about the taxi waiting outside the station. In the middle of the night, there is really no better choice than taking a taxi. Go, get in the car. The driver responded with a smile on his face when he saw 2 girls. The 2 girls struggled to load their luggage into the car, then they got in the car. None of the 3 people, including the driver, noticed that in the dark night, a mosquito more than 1 centimeter in size quietly flew through the air and entered the taxi together with the 2 girls. Go back to the city first. Qianying hid under the taxi seat and lay quietly on the ground. His ferocious mouthparts glowed faintly in the dark night. The taxi is starting. Yi, how do you feel about visiting my hometown these days? A girl asked another in the car. Both of these girls are very beautiful girls, exuding the youthful vitality unique to young women. It feels good. Your family also took me to visit scenic spots, especially the tour bus ride. It was very exciting and interesting. Another girl blinked and replied very seriously. Yi. You know that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you what you think of my brother. Can't you see what I really mean when I ask you to go play? Listening to the two chatting, Qianying's body hidden under the seat moved slightly, and his huge compound eyes looked at the two girls sitting in front of him. These two people are probably about the same age as Qianying, although both of them are quite beautiful, but the one named Yi, with long silky hair, a beautiful nose and a small mouth, is far more beautiful than the other one. Although he is not at the level of a movie star. This is also the reason why the makeup is relatively light. If you really play around with your face, you might look like a movie star. Although Qianying was reborn as a mosquito, human beauties were still attractive to him, and he couldn't help but take a second look at the two youthful beauties. After a second glance, Qianying accidentally spotted some pieces of cloth inside Yi's short skirt. He quickly turned his head and said, "Don't look at anything inappropriate. That what a pity, why didn't we have such good luck as a human being?" Qianying was helpless. Ting, alas, I told you before I went there. I really didn't plan to consider this issue in the past. Your brother is really good, but I have no thoughts about it for the time being. Called Yi's beauty replied in a very helpless tone. Okay, Yi Tongyu. You didn't think about this, and you went to my house to eat and drink. That's okay. Give me the money my family spends on you these days. Another girl suddenly shouted loudly. Why are you like this? Didn't you say you were entertaining me? Besides, I've already said that if you had the purpose of introducing your brother, I wouldn't go. You even dragged me there yourself. Qianying, who was hiding under the front seat, was stunned for a moment. What is this called unfolding? The two girls got into an argument in the car. But overall, the girl named Yi Tongyu is at a disadvantage, and the other girl named Ting is very arrogant. Yi Tongyu, I understand, let me tell you, I have spent more than 10,000 yuan in the past few days. I will give you 10,000 yuan. You can either marry my brother, or take 10,000 yuan. You have been in my house for so many days, you know, my brother is a gangster over there. If you dare to say no, he will immediately bring a group of brothers here and catch you even if you escape back to your hometown. The girl named Ting spoke coldly. Where there is 10,000 yuan, I can only get less than 2,000 yuan at most. I paid for the fare myself. Yi Tongyu was crying a little. I'm not going to talk nonsense to you. I'll give you 3 days to get the money. Otherwise, just wait until I go back and call my brother. Ting snorted coldly. There was suddenly no sound in the car. Not long after, the girl named Yi Tongyu began to sob softly. The other girl just rolled her eyes and sneered. Hey, this girl named Yi Tongyu is not kind to others. But the biggest bad guy is this Ting. Qianying, who was hiding under the front seat, also sneered in his heart. Such a bad woman, if I suck her blood, it can be regarded as justice for God, right? Just try to see if my mouthparts have the ability to suck blood now. Qianying's heart was cold. He believed that his mouthparts had the power to pierce human skin. The only thing I'm not sure about is whether the person whose blood is sucked by him will have any other bad reactions. He actually still has a certain baggage towards blood-sucking. After all, he used to be a human, and he is very clear about human attitudes towards mosquitoes. And now, after the mutation of the red-purple potion, his body has mutated. Although this mutation seems to be a good thing for him now, but it is not necessarily a good thing for people who have been sucked by blood. If the person who has been sucked by him has poisoning reaction or other conditions, please contact Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Qianying is a little afraid to speak. It is precisely because of these concerns that Qianying, who was hungry in the car just now, did not just find a passenger to drink blood. Now that the girl named Ting has such a face, then there is no burden for him to suck blood. Even if the other party has any side effects, she deserves it. After thinking about this, Qianying quietly flapped his wings. His wings are now too huge, and the flapping sound is much harsher than that of an ordinary mosquito. However, the driver in front couldn't stand the noise of the two girls and turned up the radio very loudly. The sound completely covered up the sound of his flight. As the taxi passed through a darker corner, Qianying's mosquito body quickly flew towards Tingting. To be continued. Thank you all so much for your great votes. Now it's back to 23rd, keep asking for votes. In addition, I would like to thank brother Menjing Luo for the reward again. Bu Yu is very touched that he supported me so much even though the update was late today. Also, I want to ask, the group said that if you keep updating more and more, you will get more rewards. Does everyone think so? If so, please talk in the group, or leave a comment, and I'll see how much you are willing to reward. If there are many people, there will be 3 updates in the next 2 days. If everyone responds well, we will update it 3 times more often in the future. As long as there are enough rewards, Bue will work hard, haha. Now we still need recommendation votes more. If you have recommendation votes, please support it. Thank you. Chapter 17 The First Blood Sucking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ever since his rebirth, Jia Yan's actions have not been in vain. His crazy training gave him a strong body. And being particular about his food also makes his physical training more effective. So much so that when he encountered the unexpected encounter on the train, his body was able to resist the power of the purple-red potion, otherwise he would have died long ago. Only with a strong body and a certain amount of luck and will can one withstand that kind of surging medicinal power. And Jia Yan finally realized the transformation of his body with the help of purple potion. His biggest physical flaw is also his biggest regret, his mouthparts. Finally got a form factor improvement, and really tough functionality. The current mouthpart looks ferocious, like a small needle or a dark and shiny stick. Now, he is using his improved stick to insert the young girl. No. Penetrating the young girl. Ahem. Anyway, this is my first time trying to suck blood. In the dark corner, Jia Yan, a 1.5 cm male Anopheles sinensis mosquito, quietly flew onto the calf of Tingting. At this time, he didn't know if God was going to help him take the initiative to suck blood for the first time. The car ran over a piece of garbage on the road and trembled slightly. That's it. Jia Yan used this moment to not only solve the problem of his huge body climbing up the calf, but also to pierce his ferocious mouthparts into the girl's white and tender skin. Mosquitoes suck blood, which requires a lot of strength from the upper and lower jaws. 2 of the 6 needles in the mouthparts are first pierced. After these 2 extremely thin needles pierce the skin, they begin to spit out saliva that has anticoagulant and anesthetic effects, anesthetize the target wound and keep the blood in the blood vessel from coagulating. Then the other 4 needles were inserted and slowly tried to suck blood, so in fact, when a mosquito sucks blood, it does not insert the entire mouthpart into the target skin, but only 6 needles. At this moment, Jia Yan directly inserted 2 needles into his jaw. Although it has grown in size, as a male mosquito, even if its mouthparts have been strengthened, the current stylets are at most the same as those of ordinary female Anopheles mosquitoes. The 2 stylets inserted at this time, although they caused there was a hint of pain, but Tingting happened to be shaken, and she was in a cold argument with Yi Tongyu with ups and downs of emotions, so she really didn't notice it. Jia Yan was slightly happy. Then, he controls the 2 needles in the lower jaw of his mouthparts and spits out the mosquito's unique saliva. This process was also not noticed by the target. 6 needles were inserted at the same time. Ha! The taste of female blood seems to be more delicious. The bright red blood was slowly sucked into Jia Yan's abdomen through the mouth needle. Compared with the average mouthparts, Jia Yan's suction power is much stronger than that of ordinary female mosquitoes. He sucks blood very fast. It wasn't until the belly of the huge figure bulged slightly, and the red liquid inside was almost visible through the exoskeleton, that Jia Yan stopped drinking. He carefully retracted the 6 needles slowly. Sure enough, I can suck blood on my own. And for the first time, I did a good job. Jia Yan was very happy. Blood sucking by mosquitoes is actually a very complicated matter. If the capillaries are not found when the mosquito pierces the skin for the first time, it will have to find another place to dig for treasure. So it was a bit of luck for Qianying to successfully suck blood for the first time. Thinking of this, Qianying flapped his wings and then flew quietly. I am full. He returned under the front seat, his dark body hiding in the dark and secretly observing Tingting. What he wants to observe now is whether Tingting will have any adverse reactions due to his special saliva. He was pretty sure not. After all, the purple potion was also a potion that humans drank, so his body would not produce any bad substances just because he drank the purple potion. But there is a contingency for everything. After all, his body has been greatly modified. Who knows if the organs that secrete saliva will also undergo some kind of mutation and secrete some toxins. After a minute or so, Tingting's expression changed a little, and her calves rubbed against each other twice under the seat. Yitongyu, who was sobbing silently on the side, also saw her condition and couldn't help but look over. What are you looking at? Tingting said fiercely. She simply ignored it, reached out directly to the calf bitten by Qianying, and scratched twice hard. Qianying, who was sitting in the front seat, was slightly startled, and then laughed silently in his heart. Sure enough, people who have been bitten by him will not have any special reaction, they will just feel itchy. There are many components in mosquito saliva, and the formic acid in it is the culprit that causes itchiness in animals. As for Tingting's itching, it seems to be extremely exaggerated. It seems that Qianying underestimated her body. After inserting the needle just now, he was afraid that the anesthesia would not be effective, so he spit all the saliva in his mouth into her skin. You must know that although Qianying's mouthparts are not much stronger than those of ordinary female mosquitoes, the other organs of her body are really huge. He spits all those complex ingredients into the target skin, and the tingling it causes is naturally much more intense than an ordinary mosquito bite. Master, why are there mosquitoes in your car? Tingting grabbed her calf, and a swelling the size of a fingernail swelled up where she was bitten, and it was getting bigger. She was so itchy. I don't know, no one has been bitten before. Maybe this mosquito was bitten by a bad guy. The taxi driver in front had long had a dislike for the vicious girl, and now he began to taunt her. What? You turned a corner and cursed me, right? I was bitten in your car, and you didn't want to be responsible and cursed me. Now I ask you to compensate, otherwise I will complain to your company. Tingting was like a stepped on the cat that reached its tail now bites people when it sees it. Okay, if you want to complain, go ahead. If you want to call your brother, you can do it. I don't think he is from out of town. How can he cause trouble in Shanghai? This driver is probably also a passionate person. A good man. Now that he had an opportunity, he immediately vented his emotions. The taxi suddenly stopped on the deserted road. Miss, I'm sorry, there's something wrong with my car now and it can't carry people. Please get out of the car. I don't want your fare. The driver turned back in front and looked at Tingting with a sneer. You, okay? I don't want to sit in it anymore. What a shabby car. Tingting grabbed her calf, angrily pulled her luggage, opened the door and jumped out. Yitongyu on the side was about to pick up his luggage, but the driver in front suddenly said, Don't get out, my car seems to have recovered on its own. After that, the car started. Ah! You bastards! Tingting screamed from behind. She chased him for a few steps, but his figure got further and further away. Master, thank you. Yitongyu looked at the clown-like companion behind him and felt that he was too timid to be afraid of such a person. Don't thank me, just thank that mosquito. If he hadn't asked me to find an excuse, I probably wouldn't have said anything until you got off the bus. The driver smiled generously and mentioned his righteous actions. The mosquito that bit Tingting. Ah ha ha ha, no thanks, no thanks. Little did they know, a giant Anopheles mosquito hiding under the front seat acknowledged his contribution. Unexpectedly, Qianying bit Tingting, intending to give her a small punishment, but instead indirectly caused the driver to act righteously. There are still many good people in the world. Sometimes a righteous person just needs an excuse to stand up. Qianying was also very happy to help Yi Tongyu. Little girl, what is your relationship with this girl? Why did she blackmail you? The driver asked curiously from the front. When Yi Tongyu slowly told what happened, he went to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, the driver and Qianying, and then they understood the cause of the matter. It turned out that Yi Tongyu was a college student majoring in media at a well-known university in Shanghai. Tingting and she were classmates, and the relationship between the two was not very good. One time, Tingting's brother came to school to visit his sister, and unexpectedly fell in love with Yi Tongyu. What happened next was very simple. Tingting found a way to build a good relationship with Yi Tongyu and tricked her into using her short vacation to travel to her hometown, which was actually to meet her brother. Yi Tongyu vaguely knew that there was something wrong with this classmate, but he couldn't believe that he was so direct and hard on him. He was so scared that he cried. You have to be careful about that kind of person in the future, but don't pay attention to her threats. She won't really make a big deal about this kind of thing. Just be careful about her looking for trouble in the future. The driver is a good person and has rich life experience. He immediately enlightened Yi Tong language. Okay, thank you, master. By the time Yi Tongyu got off the bus, the girl had no trace of crying anymore. It seemed that the driver's guidance was very effective. It's time for me to get out of the car. When the girl got out of the car, Qianying thought for a moment that his university was not far away, so he spread his wings, flew out of the open car door in the darkness, and got out of the car together. To be continued. Everyone is very helpful. We have reached the 19th place, please continue to ask for recommendation votes. I would also like to thank the book friends of One Season / Another Silence, whose rewards again hit the screen last night. And, well, today I only have to thank EG / Another Silence. 5555. Chapter 18 Things are different and people are different. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After getting off the car, Yi Tongyu walked quickly towards Communication University, which was not far away. After all, it's midnight and it's dark everywhere here. Girls are really scared to be alone. Qianying didn't do anything crazy like escorting beautiful women. Even if he wanted to do it, what help could he, a mosquito, do if he met a bad guy? Wouldn't it be better to pounce on him and bite him than to seek death? So after seeing Yi Tongyu walking towards the campus gate, Qianying also dodged slightly and flew in the other direction. This was a chance encounter, and Qianying never thought there would be another chance to meet again. He will not have any delusions about this beauty. Now that he is an insect, human beauties can be used to admire, but he does not have the conditions to pursue sincerity. As for Yi Tongyu, they didn't even know that such a mosquito existed. How could they think of seeing each other again? But Qianying didn't expect that there would be some disputes with this girl in the future. Of course, that's all for the future. Now, Qianying is slowly flying in the air. The neighborhood here can already be found in his memory of his previous life. The more you fly, the more buildings and shops you remember. In the middle of the night, there are still many shops open. Qianying saw a food stall in the alley and smiled on his face. It was a place where his dormitory buddies invited them to eat after they found some delicious food. There are still many such memories. During his 2 years of college life, Qianying left too many memories in this city. Qianying just flew all the way, and the changes brought to him by absorbing the purple-red potion were not only the increase in body size, but also the enhancement of strength and physical strength. Now Qianying can continue to fly for a long time. I don't know what happened to those brothers. When Qianying thought about these memories, he naturally missed the brothers who were in the same dormitory in college. He flew towards where his university was, 1 block away from Yi Tongyu's Communication University. Almost 3 kilometers away, is the Shanghai University of Engineering and Technology, where Qianying studied in his previous life. At such a long distance, Qianying relied on the mosquito's body and slowly flew over. In this big city, there are generally no large predators and natural enemies. Smaller ones, such as dragonflies, no longer seem to be too dangerous a threat to Qianying now, and we didn't meet each other along the way. So although he was a little tired from flying, he still managed to fly to the door of Shanghai University of Engineering and Technology without any danger. If we start from that small pond, after a journey of more than 2,000 kilometers, Qianying finally returned to his alma mater, a place where he left too many past memories as a human being. When he saw the familiar scenery at the gate of his alma mater, Qianying's body trembled. The gate is still the same gate, and the concierge is still the same concierge. All the scenery seemed to be the same as a month before he left. The only difference is that now that he is back, no one else has changed, only himself has changed. Things are different and people are different. The result of this non-person is oneself. Qianying felt extremely uncomfortable, flapping his wings and flying into the college gate. Shanghai University of Engineering and Technology is a relatively well-known second university in Shanghai. It pays more attention to the cultivation of practical talents, so the students who graduate every year are very competitive. Even though the computer major is now in decline, the computer professionals from this university are still the darlings of the workplace. But Qianying, who originally had such a bright future, was already dead at this time. I can never graduate from here again. It's past 11 o'clock in the school. There are already few pedestrians and the lights are very dim. There were only some secretly dating couples walking around the campus, and some boys who were about to sneak out to surf the internet were making secretive gestures at the base of the wall, trying to get over the wall. When Qianying passed these clumsy boys, he smiled empathetically in his heart. When he was in school, although he was relatively homely, there was a time when he and his seniors or roommates would go to internet cafes to play illegal online games. Although he still doesn't like those games very much, but the atmosphere is still remembered to this day, because their university has done a good job in greening. Qianying saw some flying figures in the air. The figures even feature bats. Bats are definitely the enemy of mosquitoes, especially at night. Qianying quickly bypassed that area and flew towards his dormitory. He didn't have anything to do when he came back, he just wanted to see his brothers in the dormitory. Fortunately, there was a lot of food for bats in the dark night. After deliberately avoiding the bats, Qianying finally quietly came to the front of a building. The buildings of Shanghai University of Engineering and Technology are relatively new, and the dormitory in front of Qianying is now more than 90% new. It has a pure white appearance, feels fresh and comfortable. Why didn't you think our dormitory was so beautiful before? Don't people understand the beauty of things until they have been lost? Qianying looked at the dormitory building and flew along the outer wall after a long time, flying from the outside, looking at the dormitory scene that I was tired of seeing before. There is a different flavor. Soon, Qianying flew to the height of the third floor. In front of him were dormitory windows. This side should be 305, this side should be 306, then this one. 307. Qianying controlled his body not to get excited and flew quietly towards the window of dormitory 307. What's going on? Suddenly, he was startled. The windows in dormitory 307 are closed, but this does not prevent Qianying from seeing the scenery inside through the bright glass. In the dormitory, a lot of debris was placed there. Some scrap wooden boards, bedding, and even miscellaneous books and teaching equipment were piled in this dormitory. What's going on? What happened to our dormitory 307? Qianying seemed to have lost his soul, looking at the surrounding windows one by one. In these dormitories, some students have not yet gone to bed and the dormitory has a power outage, so they continue to watch movies or games using their laptop power supplies. All of them are familiar faces. Qianying flew quickly, and finally, in a dormitory, he saw two excited students using wireless network cards to play online games. Xiaozheng, De Gong. Seeing these two people, Qianying finally had ripples in his heart. These two people were his roommates in the dormitory, and De Gong was his upper bunk. This kid played online games all day long. Qianying remembered that he had asked this kid more than once not to crawl around in the middle of the night and affect him. Sleep. Isn't this dormitory 302? What are they doing here? Qianying was very surprised. This doubt only flashed for a short moment. Qianying was shocked and suddenly understood the reason. He must be dead, and he must have been beaten to death. So the school gave up that dormitory. and the roommates inside moved to other dormitories one by one. Qianying smiled bitterly in his heart and looked at his two former roommates who were happily playing games in the dormitory. These two people are so happy, maybe my death is nothing to them. After all, I am the most unsociable one in the dormitory. Qianying has no intention of looking for the remaining roommate. Since the dormitory in his memory no longer exists, what is the use of finding these people? All Qianying has in her heart are the remaining good memories of this dormitory, and these roommates' memories are just memories after all. The reality is that these roommates have also left a place full of memories. They will slowly forget themselves. Qianying flapped his wings in pain and flew out of the campus. In this way, I will no longer miss my campus again. What he didn't know was that when he flew out of the university in despair, he was looking for Yuan. Yuan. Calm in dormitory 302, a student shouted helplessly, "You two are not allowed to sleep. Have fun. You play so late every night. It's none of your business if we play with you." De Gong took the mouse away and looked at his new roommate. "Can we sleep without playing? If you close your eyes, it's Qianying's face. He was beaten to death, can you let us sleep?" De Gong's fists were clenching. Qianying did not see or hear the small dispute in the dormitory. Maybe after seeing that scene, he might have a little more affection for this school, but he didn't see that scene. So, after flying over this range, in Qianying's heart, he forced himself to seal the campus in his heart and the 2 years of campus life deep in his memory. Let those beautiful youthfulness, like fairy tales, be preserved to the deepest place. Qianying is flying. Okay, now that I no longer care about the campus, I have to start thinking about my revenge plan. To be continued. Thanks for the time. Thanks to the book friends of Sword Demon World for the reward. Although there are no other book friends to give rewards, everyone's recommendation votes are quite strong, and now it has reached 16th place on the public list. Buyu expressed that he is very satisfied. So thank you to all the book friends who voted for recommendation. In addition, the book has been signed today. If the results are good, I will definitely insist on finishing the book, so I hope everyone will give Buyu more support. Thank you. Chapter 19 Goodbye Yuan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The wealthy Yu family is one of the first-class families in Shanghai, which is known as the international city. It is only one step away from those top families that overlook all living beings. This family is originally from Minjiang province and moved to Shanghai during the war. Later, it started in business. After 4 generations of efforts, it finally reached its current status. A fiery red convertible sports car stopped in the Yu family courtyard with a screeching sound. The Yu family courtyard is located in the east of Shanghai city. Although it is not far from the city, it is a community where wealthy people live. It is lined with green trees, the air is fresh, and the security force is extremely strong. The Yu family's residence also occupies a huge territory here. Other people's houses are called villas, but their Yu family's house is directly called the Yu family's courtyard. It has an independent small yard, a garage, and a swimming pool. Everything is available. The most special thing is that this house also has an exterior wall, and there is a row of buildings outside the wall, which house 6 security guards who have retired from the army. Personnel, coupled with the security strength of this wealthy community, it can be said to be a defense as strong as an iron barrel. Vice Director Yu, you're back. A sturdy man walked out of the Yu family's mansion, and then helped the man in the convertible open the car door. Yeah. The young man in the driver's seat responded nonchalantly. Then asked, "Is my dad at home?" "The chairman is not here. He went to France to attend a meeting last night. He will not come back until the day after tomorrow." The sturdy man replied. A smile appeared on the young man's face, then he got out of the car and walked towards the mansion. As for the convertible, it was naturally helped by a strong man to park it in the garage. The young man's face appears in a circular lens. This round lens has an accurate center and a bunch of very professional ruler marks. Under the lens is a slender and heavy instrument. This instrument has a tube with spiral rifling inside. This is a sniper rifle. Its full name is the American Stair Scout Universal Sniper Rifle. It is a mid- to long-range sniper rifle modified from the Stair Scout Universal Rifle of the same name originally produced in Austria. Its maximum effective range reaches 800 meters. The biggest advantage of this sniper rifle is its ease of maintenance and its weight of only about 3 kilograms. Perfect for sniper mobile assassinations. The trigger of the Stair Scout sniper rifle had an index finger gently pressing on it. The owner of the index finger is a man in his 30s with a full beard. This man's whole body was filled with energy and he was extremely concentrated. He was lying on a tree covered with moss. This tree was the largest and tallest tree nearby, but it was only about 10 meters tall. The man forced himself to lie on a few branches of the tree crown, and the sniper rifle followed the branches. Shake. No. The man spat. Then he raised his body angrily. He yelled towards the tree, "You bastard, there's no way I can hit at such a distance. It's over 1,500 meters, and it's still on such a small canopy. The wind will shake the camera. Do you think I am God?" Under this tree, a young man wearing glasses sat. In front of him was a small computer, with data constantly being refreshed. He didn't even raise his head and directly answered the bearded man above, "Isn't that what you said yourself? This task is very simple. It can be completed within 10 days. If you want to complete it within 10 days, I will find the most suitable one for you. The possible place is right here." The bearded man cursed, carefully put the sniper rifle on his back, and then climbed down from the tree vigorously. "I didn't expect it to be so difficult. I thought this mission was given to us because we are Chinese." After the bearded man went down to the tree glumly, he reached out and snatched the mineral spring from the hands of the young man wearing glasses. Water bottle, raised his head and drank it all. Or we should change to another method of assassination. This kind of brutal sniping may also put us in danger. While the two men were discussing, if I remember correctly, it should be this community. A mosquito suddenly flew out from the window of a taxi. The strong wind blew and the mosquito was blown like a boat drifting with the current, almost hitting the ground headfirst. Fortunately, he flapped his wings vigorously to stabilize his body as much as possible in the air. After more than 10 seconds, he flew unsteadily to a small green tree on the side of the road and took a short rest. This mosquito is none other than Qianying. After coming out of campus last night, he went to the balcony of someone's house and spent the night together. In an international city like Shanghai, he can rest assured on the balcony of a high-rise building. As long as the owner of the house does not get crazy and spray the balcony with pesticides, he is unlikely to be in danger. Of course, you still have to pay attention to things like geckos and bats, so Qianying chose a relatively new building, which generally does not have these two creatures. The weather in August was still very hot, and it could be said that Qianying spent a very comfortable time on the human balcony. But as soon as September arrives, it's hard to say. When the weather gets colder, the activity of mosquitoes will be greatly reduced. Although Qianying knows that he has undergone mutation, his situation should be much better than that of ordinary mosquitoes. The temperature in September probably will not have much impact on him. But what about October? What about November? Even in the cold winter when the snow is falling? He had to consider this situation, because after the mutation, he really felt that the vitality of his body seemed to have the same surge as when he was reborn. Qianying felt as if he had returned to the lonely era, filled with endless energy. This shows that this male Anopheles mosquito is likely to survive the entire year of this year. Mosquitoes that can survive the winter do not eat or drink, find a warm place, and survive the winter motionless, but it's impossible for Qianying to do this. What's the difference between doing this and dying? Is it the same purpose as other mosquitoes, to survive the winter and wait until early spring to mate before going to see King Yama? Then he would rather die before winter comes. Now, I actually have a solution, but this solution must be dealt with first, this bastard Yuan, and then we can talk about it. Qianying's huge male mosquito body flew into the community from a height of 5 meters under the stunned gaze of the security guard at the gate. "Wow, such a big mosquito," that the security guard just exclaimed and took no other action. if you have to guard against every mosquito and insect, then this is no longer a residential area, but more stringent than a military base. I saw Ding Liming being escorted here before. So maybe Yu Yuan lives here too. Qianying looked at the high-end residential complex below with dark eyes. The name Ding Liming is synonymous with beauty in his human life. This is a beautiful, temperamental, and quite gentle girl. They met at the Shanghai Museum of Natural History. Qianying likes animals and Ding Liming likes plants. When Qianying was studying an animal specimen, Ding Liming came up to talk to him. Then, the two discovered that each other actually had similar hobbies. Then, the topic just opened up. Qianying once thought that this girl was an angel who fell from heaven to earth. She was so cute and beautiful, so beautiful that she didn't even dare to have any blasphemous feelings. He hid all the feelings of love and admiration in his heart. Just to avoid any rift in the relationship between you and the girl. Qianying wanted to keep things as they were, but Yu Yuan's appearance ruined everything. Ding Liming was slapped several times by Yu Yuan in front of Qianying. Then, his men swarmed up and punched and kicked Qianying. Ding Liming was immediately taken away. And when Qianying chased him to the community with injuries all over his body, Yu Yuan, who was aware of it, called his men out again, and this time, it was when Qianying died. Yu Yuan. I'm back from hell. This time, I want you to die. Qianying roared in his heart. The more memories come back to Qianying's heart, the more he looks for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. The more angry you are. In the courtyard of a huge mansion below him, a young man happened to walk out of the gate of the mansion. He is very young, wearing sunglasses on his face, and his expression seems to control the whole world. His attitude of disdain for anyone shows how arrogant this prodigal son will be in his life. Yu Yuan. When Qianying saw this young man, his anger reached its peak, and the blood in his body seemed to be on fire, trying to burn his entire body. This is the enemy that kills him. This man ordered his men to beat him to death. The pain and misery at that time are unbearable even thinking about it now. Now that he is reborn, all hatred, he, Qianying, wants to get them all back from this man. To be continued, customary thank you time. Today I actually met a rich man again. The N73 Lu Lin book friend rewarded me with 588 starting points in one go. Wow, that wealthy book friend ignored me last time, but this time you don't. How about we become friends? Haha, next up is the old brother again, a tiger that eats pigs, ahem, it's the same sentence again, so I won't say much more, brother. Grateful. Those are the two words. Tiandao rewards Qianying 233 is a new book friend. Thank you very much for your reward. I hope you can pay attention to this book often in the future. I also want to thank Menjing Luoluo again for the reward. I've rewarded it many times, right? Deeply appreciated. Chapter 20 Secret Love for Qianying. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Yuan. As expected, he was still alive and well, and was not in jail or detained because of his death. Is there really a way for a son of a wealthy family to escape the guilt of murder? Qianying was extremely angry. The first moment he saw this young man, he had the urge to rush towards him. But he still endured it. He came here today just to check out the cards and determine Yu Yuan's address. It's simply impossible to deal with him now. Now he is just a mosquito, at most a huge mosquito, with a body of 1.5 centimeters. What can he do if he just rushes down like this? No. If you continue like this, you are just courting death. My goal today has been achieved. It is already a very good harvest to confirm that Yu Yuan's family is here. Qianying said to himself. Next, I will find a way to kill Yu Yuan. It's best if I let him taste the pain of being beaten to death. But, what should we do? The idea of contracting a virus is a bit imperfect when I think about it now. After all, I don't know much about medicine, and even if I contract a virus, how can I guarantee that my mosquito body will not be poisoned? Die with him is a method that has no other solution until the end. When that time comes, you can just go to the hospital and steal the blood of patients with serious viral infections. But if the virus also affects mosquitoes, I will be buried with you, Yuan. Forget it, leave here and think slowly. When you see this guy, you can't help but get angry. You can't control your emotions at all. Qianying was about to turn around and leave the Yu family compound with some dignity, but the moment he turned around, his pair of compound eyes suddenly stopped. A beautiful shadow appeared in front of his eyes. Qianying's compound eyes reflected the appearance of hundreds of beautiful figures. This is a girl. She has an exquisite oval-shaped face, dotted with a small and straight nose, and a light pink lipstick on her small cherry mouth. The most unique thing is her eyes, which are a pair of watery red phoenix eyes. The slender eyelashes blink gently, which seem to be able to enchant people's soul and are extremely moving. The girl was wearing white clothes. She quickly walked to Yu Yuan's side with a smile on her face and straightened her collar for Yu Yuan. Ding Liming. Qianying was stunned in disbelief. This scene was like a bolt of lightning that struck him, piercing his heart severely and making him lose his mind. At first, he thought that this girl was forced by Yu Yuan, so he tried his best to save her, but the scene in front of him completely overturned his guess. So it turns out that Ding Liming is Yu Yuan's woman, right? So it turns out that it's me, a poor boy, who is pestering her. Qianying was so distraught that he couldn't even fly steadily, and fell from the sky unsteadily. It happened that Qianying fell to the ground, and the young man and woman not far from him had a little conflict. Yu Yuan slapped away the green little hands that were helping him organize his clothes. Okay, I'm wearing very neat clothes, so don't pretend to be virtuous with me. Yu Yuan's pair of eyes, slightly sinister, stared at the pretty woman in front of him. He raised his arm and held up the girl's sharp chin with his palm. Don't you just want me to stop hurting your little lover? Oh. His name seems to be Qianying. Haha. Don't worry, he will survive. Very good, I just asked him to stay away and not to ruin our life as an unmarried couple. Just be good and stop contacting him, you know. The girl's long eyelashes were trembling. She bit her lip and nodded helplessly. Very good. Since my dad won't be back for the next 2 days, I will invite my friends to play at home tonight. You can hide in the room and don't come out. Yu Yuan patted the girl's fair face, and then with a mocking smile, he walked towards his garage where he listened to the fiery red convertible. Qianying, who landed on the ground, was already stunned by this conversation. His eyes met Ding Liming's slim and thin back. The fiery red sports car drove out of the courtyard road. When Yu Yuan drove his car and passed by the girl, there was a sinister smile on his face. When the car was completely gone, the girl let out a sob from her back. Her shoulders were shaking slightly, and Qianying could even see from behind a crystal teardrop falling from her sharp chin, and then hitting the ground. Is she protecting me? Qianying found that he could not flap his wings, so he used 6 long legs to slowly approach the crying girl. This girl is really stupid, she is already dead. But he is still trying to compromise because of Yu Yuan's deceitful words. It turns out that when she met me before, she was already Yu Yuan's fiancée. No wonder Yu Yuan would beat Ding Liming when he caught them together. The girl cried very sadly. Maybe in her mind, she had no emotional connection with Qianying, but she was definitely a good friend. Now, because of herself, her good friend's life and death were unknown, so she cried very sadly. Qianying stood at the girl's feet and watched her cry. I misunderstood her just now. She was just coerced into doing this. The damn thing is Yu Yuan. He has already beaten me to death, and he wants to use my name to continue to deceive her. Qianying didn't know how he flew out of the Yu family. His head was filled with plans and ideas on how to kill Yu Yuan, but none of them were easy to complete. Qianying wants to kill Yu Yuan even more. He must be killed, not only to avenge himself, but also to free the girl he once liked. Such a good and beautiful girl deserves a better home. Killing Yu Yuan also brought an end to his former secret love. Now, it is impossible for him to have anything to do with human women, so when Yu Yuan dies, the story between him and Ding Liming will become a beautiful story deeply buried in his heart. Just like college life, it has turned into a mere memory, at that time, except for his family. He will no longer miss humans, and he will work hard to live out his insect life, of course, if you want to live an insect life. The premise is that Qianying cannot use the virus to die together with Yuan. If it develops like that, it will be too tragic, so he was thinking carefully about how a mosquito could kill a human while keeping itself safe. After much thought, it seems that this matter still has to be left to the hospital. Next, let's take a ride back to the hospital in the city and check it out. Qianying flew out of this wealthy community called Gashan. By chance, he spotted a van with its windows open on the road. In the van, a bearded man was driving. In the back seat of the car was a young man wearing glasses. The young man lowered his head, with a small computer on his lap. The young man's fingers kept tapping on the keyboard, obviously operating something quickly. When the young man wearing glasses wasn't paying attention, Qianying quietly stopped flapping his wings, and then relied on the momentum of gliding to jump directly into the van. He stopped firmly on the back seat of the van. Okay, the surveying and mapping is over. Close the windows and don't let the surveillance camera capture us. The young man suddenly raised his head and spoke. The bearded man smiled, pressed the switch button, and closed both the front and rear windows. The dark film makes it impossible to see what's going on inside the window. Qianying quietly hid his body in the gap in the back seat. The words of the young man wearing glasses made him realize that he had met two men who were not ordinary people. The one who went out just now is the target person's son, right? It would be great if the target was him. Driving a convertible, I have 100 ways to kill him without a doubt. Bearded man said. Yes, he is the son of the target person. His name is Yuan, and he is the only son of the target person Yutao. The young man pushed up his glasses and responded, Yuan. Yutao. When Qianying heard these two names in the back seat, he couldn't conceal his surprise. Could these two people be killers? Are they going to kill Yuan's father, Yutao? At this moment, Qianying suddenly had a strong idea. Is it possible for me to get my chance from these two killers? What they want to kill is Yuan's father, and he wants to kill Yuan. There is no conflict. But, what should we do? The van accelerated slowly, and the two men in the van were discussing strategies while driving, but it seemed that they didn't have much choice. Dad Yutao will return from abroad the day after tomorrow, and then it will be time for these two men to take action. I must find a way during this period. In the van, two killer men were quickly thinking of possible safety solutions. Qianying is also using his brain quickly. What else can we do? There must be a chance. To be continued. Thanks for the time. Thanks to the Urban Management Department book friend for the tip. This name is really domineering. What a great name. The contract has reached the starting point today, and I will probably change it to a status tomorrow. I'm a little depressed. I heard that there will be no recommendations next week. If I change the status, I will be on the list of new signed authors. With my results, I can't even get into the top 100. If I had known I wouldn't have sent the contract so early. I beg everyone to support it by collecting and recommending votes, so that we can overcome this difficulty. Thank you very much.